All right, so Thresh Asol. I had a generic build around for build something with Ori and Sol, and I have a War Mother's Call variation that has some ramp in it. So I wanted to explicitly try and build an Asol deck for this build that didn't play Freljord as the second faction. So I think as opposed to ramping into Asol, I think the other thing that's natural to try with him is pairing him with another way to get him into play early. And Thresh is a way to do that. So Thresh leveled up is kind of hard to trigger. He has to see 6 units die, but his leveled mode says, the first time I attack this game, summon another attacking champion from your deck or hand. So something to comment on here is that unlike a lot of Runeterra decks, I've elected to only put 5 champions in this deck. And the reason for that is because I don't really want to draw Ori and Sol. I don't want this 10 drop just like rotting in my hand for the first 9 turns of the game while I get beat down. So by only having 2 Ori and Sol in my deck and not playing another champion, a third champion, Thresh attacking is guaranteed to get Ori and Sol when we attack with it. The rest of this deck is kind of just like the Shadow Isles aristocraty kill my own stuff shell. I've got like Bark Beast and Hapless Aristocrats, and Cursed Keeper, Glimpse, Haunted Relic, lots of cheap things that let me kill units off. So Thresh can hopefully get leveled up. I don't have a ton of Targon cards in here because I didn't feel like they added a whole ton to the theme of what we're trying to do. I am playing some Soltari Priestess. I actually think this card is incredibly good. The average power of a Celestial card, I think, is a little bit higher on average than a card you can put into your deck. So this is basically a 3-mana 1/2 that draws a card when you play it. And the card that you're drawing is guaranteed to be fairly powerful, and because the invoke mechanic is letting you pick from one of 3, you're almost always guaranteed to be drawing a card that's useful to the current situation that you're in. So I think this card in general will just be a staple in Targon decks. I think it's very, very powerful. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into some games here with this and see how it goes. How do you feel about them adding more random card generation? I think it's great. I think if the random card generation they plan to put into this game looks like Invoke, it's a very good use of it. A lot of card game players don't have good game design fundamentals, and a lot of card game players think effects that are random are inherently bad, when that couldn't be further from the truth. Variance is the reason why most people play card games. If I didn't want variance, I would play something like chess or Go. The key to variance in card games is explicitly creating variance that doesn't feel bad, and I really feel like the invoke mechanic is kind of a fixed version of Hearthstone's discover mechanic that doesn't feel bad. I think the fact that you are explicitly pulling cards from a determined pool mitigates a lot of the issues with Hearthstone's discover mechanic. So if you're someone that's eventually going to complete everything or purchase most of the cards, buying the pre-made decks is actually a pretty reasonable deal because it's cheaper than crafting those cards individually. I'm actually gonna Vile Feast my own thing here and just like go wide. This will level this up and it'll give me a 4/3. As for if I personally bought it, Peppa Riot actually hooked up some number of content creators, me at the very least, with some wild cards. So I've got plenty of wild cards to craft and try stuff out in expansion, which is sweet. I appreciate the support from them. Thanks for the stream title heads up, Mecca. Some wild cards. They dropped off a dump truck full of wild cards.
I'm ready. Thank you a look.
How much Hearthstone in the past have you played? I hit Masters or whatever the equivalent was in Hearthstone one season. Played a bunch of it. Spent 4 figures worth of dollars on Hearthstone at one point. The game just didn't hold my interest.
Dangerous water.
The deck building component of Hearthstone is very shallow, and that's what didn't. The Hearthstone economy is brutal, and the deck building component in their game is shallow, in my opinion. The fact that you can mix and match regions in Runeterra, and the fact that those regions, the fact that you can mix and match regions, and that we're going to get more regions, means that the deck building in this game, a year from now, 2 years from now, is going to be incredibly deep at some point. Really, really looking forward to it. The Nightfall 2-1 trick. Is that the one that makes a random Nightfall card? Is that the one that you're talking about? That is a lot of elusive chipmunks. That is a lot of elusive chipmunks. Chip. Nightfall, draw a card. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, we are definitely just getting run down here. I'm gonna need to get into combat aggressively here to trigger Nightgleek, Neverglade Collector. Thresh does at least get to hook Fizz, but things aren't looking great for our hero. Opponent is playing just Fizz, and they're playing Piltover as their secondary faction, so very good chance they have like burn spells in their deck. I was on their last survey too, Steel. There's actually a number of people on their survey that they list for content creators that they don't work with. They're just gauging their audience's interest in them, because they know people watch their stuff. Gonna be a total of about 13 total regions, and League of Legends has 150 champions and counting. Yeah, and like there could be like different iterations of the same champions too. You need to sign in with your Nintendo account, it says. I don't know, weird. Try my profile. Try my profile. I think that's the problem. We've been Poro cannons, chat. We've been Poro cannons. I'm not dead yet. They played these on my turn, chat.
The strong don't want mercy.
I can't. Box doesn't do anything, chat. Grant 1 cost allies everywhere 1 extra attack. So there's like Jagged Taskmaster Poro Cannon deck. That's pretty hilarious. Their deck's kind of sweet.
Lovely day for a battle.
2 4s on the right for the drain. Oh, yeah, that's probably true. If they eat this, I don't get drains down here. Yeah, I should have done that. That was correct. These should be last. That's just smart on their part. I assume they're just gonna like open on attacks next turn and kill us. They're real sweet. Yeah, if Whale was in our deck, they would have, the game would not have been close. We are not playing Whale, unfortunately. Used my Vile Feast early kind of aggressively and got pretty punished for it. Do we want to try the Nightfall combat trick? Isn't that good? I don't know if that's good or not. Pocket aces, but good. Well, pocket aces is permanent. So don't be a typical card game player and equate things as being strictly better, strictly worse that are just different. Tarek Braum. Okay. Ooh, that's a curve. Howdy, Kappa.
Back to egg. Did it move?
Did it move? Easy block.
Please, I have connection.
Who's the goodest boy? Yes, you are. Unless my Twitch is bugged, it says you're playing Magic. Does it? Yeah, try again. All right.
We weren't expecting callers.
Is it correct now? The Twitch interface is bugged.
The torches.
It's real annoying. Sometimes even when you change the game category, it doesn't actually update it. It puts it to whatever you were playing previously.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
That was the last deck. Super reasonable.
Oh,
Lulu is definitely my contender for favorite champion of the expansion.
There you are.
Cause she's sweet. I like combat focused things, and she works well with combat tricks and challenger units. That's annoying. I guess they're out of resources. I'm gonna play this to get my extra point in. They're gonna get their 3/3 and get some damage on here, but I definitely need to get my hits in to start. Oh gosh. Gems are kind of absurd with Braum, aren't they? Like we nerfed him because he was too good with 1 power, and like, huh. That's really slick. Yeah, that's like really slick. This is a permanent +1 attack.
I'm ready to shine.
They're good with Tarek too. So if they gem Tarek, Tarek will cast a gem on Braum.
They'll see me sooner or later.
But from every fallen, a new seed.
Dazzling.
Let's show our friends that.
Yeah, Tarek's the other champion. Tarek's the other champion I want to play with Lulu. Really surprised they're not gemming here. Feel like that's a punt. They should gem this.
Have fun.
Never submit.
But they're saplings.
Well, no, even if gems could be used in combat, they would want to... Giving Braum tough is a little bit of a non-bo, though, huh? Yeah, my opponent definitely just missed it. So if they would have gemmed this pre-combat, these would both be bigger. Yeah, I also just missed the line. Oh, that's a tough choice. Think it's just warrior?
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way. I'm not as strong as you were. What if I can't?
Choices, chat. Good variance, chat. I'm firmly on the board on the side of Invoke is good variance. The comment deals 6, obliterates the champion.
Come this way.
We might kill them with the Haunted Relic and Neverglade Collector here. Maybe I'm not supposed to attack with this, because if they have... Oh, I can hush this. Let's say if they have a pump spell, they could kill this, but I have hush, so that doesn't matter.
Find Braum. Help is on the way.
Hush is very good. It's very possible I should be playing more than one Hush.
No time to rest. Look sharp.
It does not reset level up progression. However, it means you don't get more of the progression that turn.
Have you met my shield?
Wait, did they just mess that up again?
I am the protector of the mountain.
Oh, I was probably supposed to chump block there so I could Haunted Relic. So the reason why I didn't chump block there was because I wanted them to not have another pump spell for Braum. I didn't want them to kill Neverglade Collector, so just by clicking OK, I made it so they couldn't pump. Oh, maybe they missed. They must have missed that my bench was full. Or maybe they were just dead to open attacks the following turn. Couple of slops there on their part. Maybe could have ended differently. Lulu Shen. If Lulu supports Shen, or Lulu Zed, sorry. If Lulu supports Zed, his shadow is also supported, right? That's how that works.
Whoa, don't eat that!
Back to egg. Did it move?
Did it
Guess we're
move?
going.
We march as one, an unstoppable force.
Legion Drummer is interesting. It's like a slightly worse version of Witch. Not as good as Young Witch because she's not elusive, but how do we feel about just using this defensively? I kind of like it. Means they just don't have good attacks here.
Remember why we fight.
They won't suffer long.
Oh, don't get too close.
These both have quick attack. And then these are both 3/2s, so I think we're just opening on attacks here. And this draw means I get to attack with the 1/1 as well.
I am a true master.
Yeah, he bites.
It's interesting that the spell still gets the animation. That kind of surprises me. How do I get the vault? The vault unlocks every week on Thursday, Noxin. Thursday is vault day.
Who gets tossed?
Everyone!
There's nowhere to hide.
Punch it! Ha-ha!
Let's get some quality chumps in here. Their Zed is going to level.
You have to get me out of here.
Want to trade the 4/3 for Kato? I don't think so. Maybe that's better. Are you right? Maybe that's better. I don't know. I was kind of thinking sequencing this way means I get to do this and open out attacks.
Like a worm on a hook. Do not disappoint me. I am a true master.
Wonder if they'll remember that I sequenced like I could have had Vile Feast earlier and play around it here. So, like, Thresh leveled here, but, like, do we need the Thresh level? Like, it's not, like, if we win this game, so, our deck seems functional, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, looks like we're gonna die here. I'm not really sure our deck actually, like, accomplishes its goal. Yeah, we're in here. Like, we're, like, doing stuff, and we feel fairly competitive, but, like, Thresh is just so, yeah, we're just like a Shadow Isle sack deck, right? Like, when people talked about, like, using leveled Thresh to cheat out Oriensol, like, leveling Thresh is not easy, right? Like, it's so much work. Kazminia Yasuo. Yeah, there's a War Mother's build in the deck queue that's got some ramp elements to it. That's probably a better Asol deck. Yeah, like, even if we, like, level Thresh, by the time we get there, we probably don't need the Asol that he's gonna fetch up, right? Because the rest of our deck is so aggressive.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you. Want to see these moves up close?
Yeah, champions having to see a thing happen makes it, this game's so interactive, it's very easy to, like, it's very easy to interact with the champion, is basically what it comes down to. We're, like, halfway through our second deck, Juka. Anybody telling you they're confident that things seem worth crafting are good is, like, kinda kidding you.
To the point. Violence solves everything.
They go to Blade's Edge, one of my 1/1s here. I'll glimpse in response. Yeah, and I mean, in general, like, this isn't like Magic, where, like, in Magic Arena, the advice I literally give people is, like, don't play the game, you should wait, because everything's so expensive. But, like, this game's cheap enough that, like, you should just craft the cards you like, and if they end up not working out, you can easily craft something else later. And if they don't work out, they might get buffed at some point, which could cause them to work out. Because it's not like Magic where things are either good or they're bad. Because if cards aren't good enough, they can buff them to make them better. Really, really love the way Riot balances Runeterra. They just do a fantastic job. As someone coming from a Magic background, it's just a breath of fresh air. How they actively manage their formats. Not that I'm aware of, Riot. Dovades. Dova? So bad at usernames.
Now who's got the upper hand?
No, I think that's accurate, Jake. I think that's one of the, I appreciate it. I think that's one of the things that makes, like, when they're balancing, it does it so well, is because they keep that gap small in between the best decks and the hush, little baby, don't say a word. Daddy's gonna take all your power away. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, the fact that Runeterra is more budget friendly makes it easier to brew. It's nice to be able to, like, only think about Runeterra as a game and just, like, not worry about it being incredibly expensive. Hey, Drum, thanks for the prime. I appreciate it. Welcome back. We're gonna get to do it. We're gonna get to put the dragon into play, chat. All right. I don't know that this idea necessarily works well, but at the bare minimum at least works, right? Like, we can say we accomplished the thing at least. We're gonna open on attacks here, so that way they can't stun me out of it. This does pull from hands as well.
Your favorite star. I created it.
Yeah, Thresh pulls out of hand. It pulls from deck or hand, chat. Reading the Thresh explains the Thresh, chat. Leveling this seems pretty easy, too.
Wonder at my creations. Scared stiff. Now they'll pay attention.
Round start, create a random celestial card. Your celestial cards cost 0.
You pay, I fight. She's almost as old as me. Almost.
This is great. Yeah, we're gonna play this card a lot. The artwork is also just, like, amazing. This has some kind of explosion involved, right? I'm pretty sure. There's no way it doesn't.
Anyone for some stardust?
Alright, not disappointed. Was not disappointed. God bless us, everyone. Production sure does. Man, we cast an Ulamog on Magic Arena today, and it was so disappointing that, like, my Eldrazi monster didn't have an animation. Yeah, something that's like that level of epic should be those.
Today, freedom tomorrow.
Trundle Leona. I think I'm kind of into all these, huh? Mobile patch appears to be live. Fantastic. That's phenomenal. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. We'll probably save this for post Thresh.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
Leona has been leveling impressively quick. Bastion is really sweet. Bastion, being able to protect Thresh is nice.
Follow the horizon.
It depends on what their curve looks like. Mark Mata. So, like, if they play out another unit here, I don't know, I kind of just want to kill them, right? Like, this will be a 3-3. I'm pretty sure we just get aggressive here. Yeah, Remembrance has a Challenger Dragon, which is real sweet. Still a good range of cards that you get with that, but being able to get 2 different Challengers is definitely a pretty good power level increase. That's unfortunate. I guess that's not too bad, right? We just, like, hook these down here. Hermit's unit went from 25% to 20%. Yep. But you're 40% to get a Challenger unit now, which is a big metric. Like, being 2/5 to get something that can be a piece of removal is huge.
The mountain speaks to those who listen.
We weren't expecting callers.
We weren't expecting fallers.
Back to egg.
Did it move? Maybe I'm supposed to bank spell mana there to keep Thresh alive, guaranteed. For a Bastion. That is true. That's the first Remembrance hit that's not 5 power. It's a relevant thing to think about, too, on occasion when you're thinking about permutations.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Come.
Yes, you. You, come here.
Exercise caution.
Okay, that's 4 things dying, right? 3 things dying? 3, 4? Is that 3? Math. Math says 4, okay.
Nimble and quick, the tricksters.
So you need 2 things to die this round? Probably not happening, though. This is a play, so it does not trigger with Chronicler. I kind of need something to die off of my bench.
My flutter.
But this is also again kind of there are not double blocks in Runeterra, which is actually something that I really like. It helps keep the burn pretty clean. And again, like you can see, even though correct, yeah, overfilling your board does not count as dice. Otherwise, Thresh would be real busted. And again here, just kind of showing, like, even though we were a good Shadow Isles aggro deck this game, like, we didn't really need Thresh to win. Like, we're just gonna kill them on the back of Neverglade Collector here.
Stray.
Illustration by Kudos Productions.
You're in the way.
So if they don't do anything, Chronicler of Ruin is lethal.
These are troll lands.
Sorry, Trundle. Alright, I think I'm gonna, so, I might add, I think I'm gonna wrap on this one. Usually I play decks for a little bit longer than we played this, but just to give a concise thing. I feel like the Asol package here, or edition, is just like kind of extraneous. Like, the goal was to like thresh out Asol, but like as that last game showed, like by the time you're leveling Thresh a lot of the time, the kind of just like Shadow Isles aggro package of this deck is like ready to kill them, and I'm not sure you can really level up Thresh consistently without that kind of aggressive my things are dying package. So I would be, maybe there's something that just looks completely different, or like maybe there's like a more controlling deck that just like plays Thresh and Asol as its champions and like sometimes cheats it out. But I think as far as like my goal here was like, let's be like a turbo Thresh deck, or like level Thresh as quickly as possible to get to Asol as quickly as possible. And the way the play patterns play out, the Asol just isn't necessary. You just kill them by being this like kind of turbo style deck. So I think this deck felt like the Shadow Isles aggro package felt okay, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up with this deck, because I'd like to play with some more new cards that are leveraging it a little bit better as opposed to the ones that we've had for a while. So I'm going to do a quick ad roll really quick while I get set up and tweet out the next one, and we get back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to try some Leona Yasuo here. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.